The Elsa Sewell Foundation is making its final payment of $10,000 for a total of 50 to the Madison Avenue Christian Church in Covington, Kentucky. So is there anybody there to receive the check?
Yes, this is Bruce Kettner, and I'll be glad to receive the check.
Here it comes.
And there it is. And we say thank you so much.
All right, well, first let's talk to Reverend Simon of the Madison Avenue Christian Church. You are the pastor and the leader of the church, correct?
That's right, ma'am.
And a friend of Elsa Sewell. She was a parishioner for all of her life at Madison Avenue Christian Church.
Yes, Elsa sang in that choir loft where that organ sits, was a dear member of this church and a great friend. So this is most meaningful that Elsa Sewell Foundation would help us renovate and bring this organ back to life, even though because of the COVID, there's a delay. We are going to be able to finish this project by May or June, hopefully.
And what type of interaction do you have with the community at large with this organ and also otherwise? And what do grants help you do at the church with the community?
I would refer to Bruce Kintner, who's our music minister, to talk more about all the partnerships that are emerging. But I would like to highlight that what Elsa Sewell Foundation is doing to help us renovate this organ is most meaningful because, Ruth, because of this gift, it frees the church to continue to do the kind of work we do among the people here. Those who have lots of needs, feeding the hungry, Samaritan car care that helps people keep their cars so that they can get to work. So it's with enormous gratitude I say thank you. Thank you, Ruth.
We're happy to do it. So Bruce, you're the music minister?
Well, that is a gracious title. I'm the volunteer choir director here at Madison Avenue Christian Church, but it's again just an incredible offer of thanks as well for the help. What I want to do for just a little bit of background is, so we are here in the choir loft at Madison Avenue Christian Church in Covington. I'm physically at the organ console, and we're going to scan this computer camera just to show we're physically here in front of the set of pipes that's the organ chamber behind those brass colored pipes. And Elsa Sewell sang in this very choir loft for decades. And I actually had the privilege of singing with her in this choir loft for a number of years before her health did deteriorate, but it was an absolute honor and privilege to actually sing with her all these years. So this pipe organ dates from 1926. All organs of that era, in fact, organs still to this day, use leather to direct the air in that chamber that's up there. Well, what happens is the leather deteriorates, and this is how we began this project in 2019, joint fundraising, church, friends, and then the Elsa Sewell Foundation. But what ends up happening, I'll just give you an illustration. All of the organ had failed, and we were able to get a portion of the organ restored so that it could be used, and I'll talk about not just the Sunday morning uses. No illustration. I'm not playing a single note. That pipe is making that noise. So as a result, that's one entire set of pipes that can't be played. I have a flute stop that's up. We realize it might be difficult because it's quieter, but all I'm doing is I'm playing up the scale and two.
Oops.
Yeah, there is something wrong there.
Yeah, we'll have to try it again, huh? Oh, let me stop the. The Elsa Sewell Foundation is making the fourth installment on its grant to the Madison Avenue Christian Church for its organ restoration. So is there somebody there to catch the check?
Yes, Ruth, I am. I'm Bruce.
It's coming.
Okay. And there it is. Thank you so very much.
You're welcome. So tell us, Reverend Simon, you're the leader of the church. Tell us about Madison Avenue Christian Church, real quickly, how it interacts with the community at large and why the organ is important.
Well, Ruth, first of all, thank you. Thank you for helping us restore this organ. Elsa Sewell sang in that choir loft. Elsa Sewell sang and loved that organ. And to restore that organ has a lot of meaning. But also, by Elsa Sewell Foundation helping us doing this restoration, it frees up the resources for us to continue with the work we do in the community, taking care of the needs of the people, particularly those who are hungry. We feed over 15,000 people a year.
Wow.
And Samaritan Car Care, it keeps close to 19 cars on the road, which means there are people who have transportation to get to work, take the children to daycare, to doctor's visits, vital ministries, essential ministries. We're able to do that because of help through Elsa Sewell Foundation and through a lot of caring people and friends of Madison Avenue. So thank you, Ruth. Thank you for doing this. Bruce Kintner, our music director, would be able to say more about our partnership in the field of music and performance.
Hey, Bruce, you caught the check, so it's on your shoulders now.
Okay, well, thank you again so much, Elsa. And again, on behalf of all those who are, friends here at Madison Avenue Christian Church, choir members, past and present, and certainly future, we offer our thanks. Just the teeniest bit of background for the people who will be able to watch this through the Sewell Foundation site. So I'm physically here in the choir loft at the organ console, Madison Avenue Christian Church in Covington. And we're going to just pan the camera so you can see the actual organ chambers. So behind those decorative pipes in the front are literally thousands of little metal and wood pipes that form up a pipe organ. Well, this organ dates from 1926. And what is so special, of course, is that Elsa Sewell sang in this very choir loft in front of those pipes for decades. But what ends up happening is with an organ that's dated from this era is all pipe organs use leather to direct the air inside that organ chamber, all organ chambers. The leather eventually deteriorates, it dry rots. And so the organ was unplayable in 2019. We began this joint project, Sewell Foundation, Madison Avenue Christian Church, to try to work on the restoration, knowing it was going to be a multi-year project. We were able to get, a third to a half of the organ to actually be playable. COVID issues of 2020 put a delay on some of what we hope to do, but not a cancellation. We're going to be able to finish everything this year. This is just an illustration. When leather fails, what happens is the air goes where you don't want it to go. All I'm doing is getting the pipe organ ready to play a set of pipes called a rank. Ready to be played, such that you can't use that entire section of the organ. Most of these stops are unplayable because of that very reason. Other things that happen is leather at an individual pipe. It's difficult to hear over the computer, but all I'm doing is playing up a scale. I'm pressing this key, nothing's happening because the leather has failed right there. The organ is used as part of, yes, the service, the weekly service here at Madison Avenue Christian Church. But of great interest to the community is the fact that Interestingly enough, there are a number of weddings that take place here at Madison Avenue Christian Church that are of community members, college conservatory music at the University of Cincinnati. And what we've done is we are able to host a number of voice students here in the sanctuary at Madison Avenue Christian Church for them to practice. But we also want them to be able to hold a recital or a concert using a pipe organ, which a number of the students, what they want to share calls for that. And so that's a quick summary of kind of where we are this year here in 2021. What's going to end up happening is one chest at a time. A chest is a wooden box with all pipes on it. They will be removed from the choir loft, taken to an organ studio, repair shop, organ builder in Louisville, Kentucky area. And all of that renovation will take place. What we've now uncovered 2 years later, right? We began this in 2019, work that absolutely has to be done to make sure that the work we are still going to do this year makes sense, because if you don't do the electrical work, so there's connections, old wiring going from this console up to that organ chamber with switches that are called relays. Well, Ruth, I'm sad to share that a number of those relays are failing, which is part of the problem that we're having, not just leather, but it's relays. And so it is going to be about another $12,000 or $13,000 for that part of this project. And so that's part of why we're back here together, just sharing that it's an opportunity to help out on that particular project. I have made a few phone calls, as you have shared, and I do have several $1,000s pledged towards that part of the project. And we would just welcome Friends of the Sewell Foundation to continue to help.
So you need more money is what you're saying. Some things came up, the electrical connections that you didn't know about prior. Correct?
Yes, just because of the connection, you cut in and out just a little bit. But yes, from 2 years ago when we first began doing our, let's get an estimate of what needs to be done to get the organ back to where it should be. Another $12,000 or $13,000 worth of electrical work has been identified that really needs to be done. Organ was touched back in 1984. There was some work done, there were some issues then, but we have since discovered that some of the wiring from 1926 is still there, and that's causing problems. So we need to address the electrical wiring that is dating from the 1920s.
Okay, well, Reverend Simon, if people in the public would like to help out with the electrical problems in the organ system, where can they send donations?
They could send it to Madison Avenue Christian Church, or they can send it to Elsa Sewell Foundation as well. They could do either way.
All right, so what is your address?
Madison Avenue Christian Church, 1530 Madison Avenue, Covington, Kentucky, 41011.
All right, and because of your outside partnerships with the University of Cincinnati and other musical institutions, it's not just benefiting the church and the church community, but the community at large.
It does. And lots more people enjoy the sound and the joy of what that organ can do. This is not just for Madison Avenue Christian Church. It is for the larger community, as well as folks from University of Cincinnati.
Right, and you know that Elsa was a student at the University of Cincinnati and the College Conservatory of Music. So there's a lot of tie-ins there.
A lot of connections, And that organ and the piano at the church, Elsa had a lot of attachment and passion about how it is and singing with it. So yeah, there's a lot of meaning.
All right, well, good. I hope we get some help from the community to get that electrical system up to speed so that Bruce can play and make music as opposed to just pretend like he is because it's not working.
Well, Ruth, thank you again. This extra repair that comes up, if it is done, that would be a phenomenal instrument. And I thank you so much for your willingness to help us with this. Thank you.
All right, well, Reverend Simon and Bruce, thank you for your input, and we'll talk to you later.
Thank you again.
Take care.
Okay, bye-bye.